give her a big round of applause to my co-leader, classmate, and friend, Anna Schaefer. Let her tell you about kids our age.
Hello, my name is Anna Schaefer, and I am voting in 2020. I am a junior at Adrian High School. I am 16. I have been trusted to take college-level classes, to get my driver's license, to work on school committees, to hold a summer job, and to speak here in front of you all. I would think that these are all indicators of a mature young adult. Notice the word young, meaning that I am not yet a full adult. I am trusted with responsibilities, but boundaries have been set to make sure that as a teen, I am kept safe. Speaking from that age group, I understand that we can be responsible, but I also know how foolish and irrational we can be. From a first-hand account, I have seen these boundaries be put into place. When my classmates have gotten minor in possession charges, they were held accountable and forced to adhere to the law. Those same classmates hold part-time jobs and are in officer positions of school clubs. An example of otherwise responsible teens making foolish decisions. When I was speeding on Monday morning, a policeman saw me and gave me a ticket. The same teen enrolled in the full IB program and mentoring freshmen. An example of an otherwise responsible teen making a foolish decision. Speaking for a collective, we are held to the standards of making honor roll, not having late work, and always being involved. The responsibility is there. But when a student was walking down the hallways of my school, holding his hands in the shape of a gun, aiming at other students, and making the noise of bullets, he was not held responsible for his intended actions. No counseling, tickets, or warnings. Not a single disciplinary action taken even after he was reported to a teacher. An example of how biased we are towards different types of actions. That student scared others around him. Maybe he was just playing around, maybe he wasn't. How are we as students able to walk the halls without fear if these horrendous crimes keep being committed and students copying these behaviors are not reprimanded? Yet if I am caught cheating in the same building, severe actions are taken to correct my behavior. As teens, we may occasionally make a foolish decision, but we are still held with responsibility. Somehow, when we use that responsibility and maturity to question the gun violence situation, our opinions are not valid. We are just teens who run wild and free and know nothing about the real world. We haven't experienced enough to have a say. We haven't given enough to society to form an opinion about these issues. And we definitely haven't experienced these horrors firsthand. What I would like to convey to the naysayers is that these crimes are all we have ever seen. So much so that they don't seem as inhumane to us as they should. We have grown up in the era of mass shootings. I was learning cursive in the time of the Virginia Tech shooting, practicing my multiplication tables during Sandy Hook, reading To Kill a Mockingbird during San Bernardino, driving to practice during Las Vegas, and visiting colleges during Stoneman Douglas. As I've aged, the numbers and statistics keep growing, and somehow our awareness of the inhumanity stays the same, because they weren't my friends and it wasn't Adrian High School. With every inch of my being, I hope that it never is Adrian High School. We have the power to influence and diminish the chances of joining those statistics. The next generation should not grow up surrounded by this issue. I stand before you using my voice to promote change. I hope that together we can promote change through convincing our local representatives that in order for our schools to be safe, boundaries need to be established. Because we are responsible and mature young adults ready to take care of the business which should have been taken care of years ago. Thank you.
Anna, kids, they're right about one thing. Some of us can't vote. That does not mean that we don't have power. This is how we get visible. Take all the pictures here today, post them to all the social medias, use all the hashtags so we can find each other and the other siblings around the country. Make sure to follow our new media pages. On Facebook and Instagram, follow MFOL Lenawee. On Twitter, it's MFOL_Lenawee. You need a detailed discussion? Email us at mfol.lenawee@gmail.com. If all else fails, see me later and I'll give you my number. Right now, Marley Schussler is going to come up and tell you about the Parents Promise to Kids contract.
Our Parents Promise to Kids table is right over there. Adults can sign a contract stating that they will only vote for legislative leaders that will support children's safety over guns. All you have to do is sign the contract, take a family picture with the contract, and then post the picture to social media. The directions will also be at the table. Thank you.
People will gnash their teeth and wail over their supposed loss of the Second Amendment rights. Why do they always ignore the part of the amendment that says well-regulated? Regulated is what they fight against. I'm tired of hearing about a criminal will find a way. To quote the eloquent Emma Gonzalez, we call BS. Maybe they will find a way, but we don't have to make it easy for them. They'll just use another weapon. We call BS. Maybe they will. Let them pull out a knife and see if they can take out 17 of my peers before we jump on him and take him down. At this time, I call on my co-leader, Mia Christensen, to come up and say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Before I start, I would just like to say that my name is Mia Christensen and I am a sophomore at Tecumseh High School. Before I wrote this speech, I had to do some calculations. According to Wikipedia, I figured out that from 1970 all the way to present day, there have been a total of 763 people injured, 450 killed, and 330 schools that can say they've had a gunman in their school. Now, take into consideration, I did not take into account the number of lives lost before 1970, which would obviously escalate the number even further. As I was counting up these numbers, I began to wonder. I began to think about how after nearly 50 years, teachers and students have been shot in the hallways and classrooms, places where they're supposed to feel safe, places that contain their most closest friend and sacred childhood memories. I began to think about how tragedies like these are still occurring and why they're occurring. Among many other words that pop into my head when I hear about another school shooting in a U.S. school is repetition. The definition of repetition is the recurrence of an action or event, which is what keeps taking place in these schools. So my question is, why? Why stay silent when hundreds of people are being killed and injured? Why just sit back and wait for the recurrence of school shootings? Why stay silent if we have a voice? My answer is, we won't. We will not stay silent while our peers are being murdered in front of our eyes. We will not sit back and wait for another school shooting. We will not stay silent because we have a voice. We are students and we are the future. Our lives mean more than an object made of metal. We have options to make schools safer environments. Why would we willingly place a gun in the hands of a teacher? Why would you make children feel more secure around them when you could just limit them? We need to ban bump stocks, high-volume magazines, and promote buyback programs. We are not asking for every gun to be destroyed. We are simply asking for a solution to this recurring tragedy. Before we leave today, I would ask all of you to form your own opinions. Go home, do the research, ask the questions, and find the answers. Educate yourselves. I am eligible to vote in 2020. And I will will be voting for the candidates that give the power to the people and support common sense gun control. I am asking all of you to take your phones out right now and text the number 788-683. I repeat, I would like all of you to take your phones out right now and text the number 788-683 and text the word FIGHT, F-I-G-H-T. This will link you to voter registration and give you reminders closer to election time. No person deserves to die this way. So let's take a stand and make a change so history doesn't constantly repeat itself again and again. Thank you all.
Repeat the number, please.
Sorry, the number is 788-683 and text the word FIGHT, F-I-G-H-T. Thank you.
Can we talk about systemic racism?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Stephon Clark being shot 20 times for holding his cell phone in his own backyard? I don't need to show you pictures of how Eric Garner was arrested and subsequently murdered for selling cigarettes, then show you pictures of how Dylan Roof and Nicholas Cruz were arrested, do I? Roof and Cruz are locked up, Eric and Stephon are buried. Just saying. Teens just like us in the black community have been calling for gun reform for years. I'm ashamed that we have taken so long to wake up, and I offer my deepest apologies to them. I hope they will accept them and we can work together to find solutions. You know who else has a stake in this? Teachers. They have been silenced by their administrations, unable to take part in walkouts or express their feelings on this matter. They won't be silenced here today. Let me introduce to you Lisa Eddy and Dan Kesterkey, teachers at Adrian High School. Hear their words about arming teachers and making schools into prisons, and let them sink in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. It's so good to see you all here. I've been teaching at Adrian High School for 24 years now, and for 24 years now, I've been a peace educator. I've been on these courthouse steps so many times with some good friends out here. It's kind of unbelievable, but here we are again. And I come from a family of corrections officers. And when I was going to school to be a teacher, my siblings, because they love me, kept saying, "Why don't you just work at the prison? Why don't you just work at the prison? You'd make more money." And that is true. I don't get overtime, even though I work 7 days a week. But I'm a teacher and not a prison guard because I believe in keeping kids out of prison. I believe in justice. I believe in peace. And my classroom motto is, we are a caring circle of friends. And we cannot be a caring circle of friends if I and my colleagues are armed. And let us all remember that even though we're held up to an impossible standard in society as educators, we're